And we're live. Welcome to the Lakers Late Night Podcast. I am Anthony Irwin. We are back on the air. And I just want to say really quickly before we get going, I really appreciate the number of people who came forward and asked, hey, are you guys going to have your show? You guys going to have your show? It really makes me feel like, hey, we're back at it. And we really, we're getting some support out there, despite having the guy I'm about to introduce on the show right now. Harrison, how are you doing?
Well, less good now, but I think they like. I think people like to laugh at us a little bit, and occasionally want to pay attention to our basketball opinions more the first one than the second one. Yeah, and I said at, not with. I don't think it's because we're tremendously funny, but we try.
Yeah, no, I definitely say it's more for the unintentional humor. And
me making fun of you, for a terrible pun or something like that. Got to drag your ass to contention.
We aren't contending for anything.
Best YouTube hangout. Okay, like 10th best.
Yeah, we're solidly in the top 50 Lakers podcasts out there. I would say we're right there, as Adam Jacoby would say it.
I feel confident in saying that.
All right, so we'll go ahead and again, like I said, thank you everybody for the kind words and for saying they missed us and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and get down to the matter at hand. And the Lakers wind up losing their 50th game on the year. They fall 117-107 to the Denver Nuggets, who winning in Denver is always tough, and it makes it even tougher when you're not very talented and poorly coached.
And you have your second best player that night leave midway through with an injury.
Yeah, it wasn't
and Kobe, I guess, but
all right. If we were to honestly rank where Kobe ranks on this team talent wise, is he top? He's probably top. I'd say third or fourth.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely have Russell and Clarkson ahead of him at this point. And because some people will be like, oh, those guys don't play defense. You haven't been watching Kobe, if that's your argument for why they wouldn't be better. I thought that Darius Soriano had a good stat the other day that most of the players on the team, at least the significant players, shoot a better percentage while Kobe's on the floor because defenses do still respect him. So I think he does have value from that aspect, even if his own numbers are really in the tank, literally and, tanking wise.
For the Lakers' purposes?
Yeah. So, oh, man, that's tough. I was not prepared for that question tonight. I wasn't ready for it. Now I'm like looking at the roster and trying to rank quickly in my head. Yeah, he's probably third or fourth, and that's like, it's not even because he's played well. It's just because the team has been so bad.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
I'd say he's probably fourth behind the two young guards and Lou Williams.
Yeah.
No. I gotta put Bass ahead of him too.
You think?
Yeah. I know that's like a hot take. People are going to kill me for that. But I think Bass is actually, especially recently, he's been more helpful to the Lakers on the floor than Kobe has.
At what point did they just start starting Bass? Like, why are they playing Roy Hibbert?
Yeah, the Roy Hibbert, why he's still playing, the only reason I can see is I don't know off the top of my head who his agency is, but if it's a major agency that they don't want to upset or have a bad relationship with, because there's really and nothing, or it's because they want him to continue to have authority as a veteran voice in the locker room, because I know that for a fact that the team really appreciates everything he's done with the young guys. So, if he's not playing at all, I think maybe some of that loses its luster a little bit. Mm-hmm. But those are really the only two reasons I can think. And again, it's through no fault of his own. Like, there's nothing he can do to clean with his skill set to clean up this roster. He needs better players in front of him.
Well, I would also say
be able to do what he was doing on the Pacers.
Well, I also think it's not just better that he needs better players, is that the team just isn't built for his skill set. Like, even it could be a whole bunch of they could be worse players around Roy Hibbert, but play at, or be
Okay,
accumulated.
that's basically what I meant, but that's a good clarification.
Yeah.
Exactly. He needs guys like we've talked about so many times this year. He needs athletic guys in front of him and disciplined guys defensively in front of him that can funnel drivers towards his body rather than just leaving him switched and trapped in space like he is so much for the Lakers this year.
Yeah, and offensively, he needs a system that just walks the ball up the court and plays and is perfectly happy to play games in the lower 90s. Like, that's not where this team is best.
Offensively, he needs a system that doesn't post him up.
Basically, I'm not nearly as high or high at all on Roy Hibbert. But yeah, he shouldn't be playing on this team anymore. We know.
Yeah, I don't really. Just from a pure basketball perspective, there's no point in him playing on this team anymore. The team's worse on both ends when he's on the court. He's one of the worst Lakers in terms of most of the advanced metrics. He's not shooting. I think he's having either the worst or second worst shooting season of his career. It hasn't been a good year for Roy.
Yeah, he's still in the league next year, right? On some.
Yeah, he'll still be in the league. Deal. Yeah, it's just going to take the right. It's going to take the right team.
Yeah, I don't think he's league minimum guy quite yet, but I also don't think he's multiple year guy either.
Yeah, I think he'll get 2 or 3 years as a reclamation project for someone.
That was our Roy Hibbert segment. We were going to talk about Jordan Clarkson's injury, which was what's that?
That was not how I anticipated the show starting. First, you put me on the spot with the Kobe question, and then we go into Roy Hibbert's value. I want to talk about the ice in my veins, but I guess we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait a little bit longer for that.
We got to wake people up. Talking about Roy Hibbert, you just wind up plodding along at the same pace that he plays at.
I felt my cadence getting slower.
The top story from today's game is obviously going to be Jordan Clarkson's injury. He goes down, they're saying, with a patellar tendon issue on his knee. And I tweeted out, I didn't see any real contact on the play, which irks me, which needles me a little bit. That didn't make me very comfortable, that there wasn't very much contact on the play. He winds up just limping. I don't really know why. So if Jordan Clarkson goes down, somebody asked me this, do the Lakers look at another guard to potentially sign?
Yeah, you have to. Especially if Lou Williams is gimpy or out. I mean, he's out for the next week, it sounds like, or more. They were pretty vague about it, and which I know you love so much.
It's the greatest.
Yeah, but I think, Vanderblue's been lighting it up for the defenders this year. Jabari Brown your favorite player, just came back from China, where he averaged, I think, 35.4 points per game. And
yeah, great. He's not going to throw a single pass this year. Great. Let's get that guy.
The Lakers called him up last year, so I'm just saying that familiarity matters. He has experience in the Byron Scott system, and
no, he doesn't. It's a new system.
Oh yeah, that's right. They rehauled their they put in the Warriors offense in the last over that last 4-day off period.
Yeah, they acquired Steph and everything.
Yeah, but hey, they kind of did. Well, no, they didn't. But Russell's played. They've acquired really young Steph. Maybe Russell's played really well.
I think Ben Rosales has been mentioning Ray McCallum quite a bit on Twitter as some of the Lakers could look at. And I posted a meme that wasn't very nice. I apologize, Rob Sacre. You seem like a nice guy, but it was basically
who's definitely watching this podcast. Sorry, Rob Sacre, our number one fan.
No, I don't care if he's definitely not watching this, but I would it shock you if every so often the players are like, dude, do you see this? Like that wouldn't shock me at all.
Oh, it would totally shock me. They have no idea who I am. Come on.
No. I'm not saying the show. None of those guys are watching the show, but I would say, like, if a meme gets
the meme, retweets, I guarantee you they show each other memes.
Roasted, yeah.
But, they show each other the tweets from the game. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, anywho, he's somebody else that if they need to free up a roster spot, I could see them waiving him outright. There's no reason he's really on this team. He can't play in blowouts. Like, he's not getting any minutes in blowouts. That should say something, right? I don't care how nice the guy is in the locker room. At some point, you need warm bodies to throw out there, and he's been cold all year. So,
and not because he has ice in his veins.
Not because he has ice in his veins. Is there anybody else that you can think of on the market that you'd say, all right, let's give this guy a go?
I mean, honestly, if Clarkson's out, I really would be for giving Vander Blue a shot.
Yeah,
I think he's been really impressive in the D League. He's gotten better as a passer this year. I definitely think that he'd be worth like a flyer option. I don't know. See, I don't know how much you can expect him to grow from what he's doing right now, but he's definitely, as far as guys that you can just get off the street, I think that he's worth the call up. I don't have a ton of experience with Ray McCallum. I definitely haven't watched a lot of Ray McCallum on the Spurs or the Kings over the past couple of years, so I don't know a lot about him. Mm-hmm. I know that, there's some pedigree there, I guess, probably more pedigree than Blue, but I think as far as I'm concerned, that's who I would consider calling up, I think.
I would only want McCallum on the team, so like if he makes a great play and say, is Ray going to be the next great Laker? McCallum. That's got to be, those jokes are going to be flying all over the place if he somehow makes his way onto your face isn't moving. I don't know.
I don't get it.
You know those my column jokes? My
oh my God. You should be embarrassed.
I am a little bit. My face is a little red.
Yeah, man. Can you guys tell we haven't done this in a week?
It's been a little while. We're a little rusty. We have dust in our veins compared to D'Angelo Russell's ice.
Dust.
So we're going to go ahead and move on to Russell. I guess the other injuries to note, Larry Nance apparently isn't going to play on back-to-back, second nights of the back-to-back. Kobe's injury, his shoulder apparently isn't getting any better. And I saw SB Nation tweet out today, a screenshot of an article saying that Byron wasn't concerned about the big minutes Kobe was playing early having an effect on his ability to stay on the court late. And guess what, Byron?
Actually, no, that was me that tweeted that out, I think. But
okay.
Yeah, I sent out, or I mean, maybe they did it too, but I sent out an article that I wrote in November, I believe, about when he had his kind of memorable back and forth with Bill Oram in that press conference about Kobe's minutes and how his average wasn't over the average of last season, so it was fine and it didn't matter. And then there was another one where that I sent out where Vidi was telling them that it was time to maybe shut Kobe down for a week or two. And Kobe actually laughed when a reporter asked him if he was considering that. So, and I remember I wrote at the time, like, it's easy to kill Byron for it, but how much control does he actually have? If Kobe wants to play, he's going to play. Even if Byron wanted to put his foot down, I don't know that he really could if Kobe was like, no, I mean, the farewell tour has to go on.
Right. That's always been fair.
And I can't blame Kobe for feeling like that. Like, there are legitimately fans buying the tickets in these road arenas that want to see him for that last time. So it is a dilemma for him. I get it.
Do you have time for? Well, I guess you're stuck here with me, so you actually don't have a choice. But quick rant: Herbie versus Stinks, and I don't. That's his on Twitter made the point, and then I just kind of tweeted about that same kind of point tonight. That I'm not very comfortable with Kobe saying that road games matter more than home games. Like that part doesn't fit right with me. That he's gonna, he'll push himself to be available for tonight's game in Denver, where almost everybody in Denver hates that guy with a passion.
Well,
but he's gonna sit out a game in Los Angeles. Like they played Friday night. Can you imagine how many people bought a ticket saying, hey, it's Friday night. We don't have anything to go. We don't have work tomorrow. Let's go ahead and buy a ticket. It might be our last chance to see Kobe. And there goes the complete value of the ticket. Like, I have way more issue. I feel strongly about this than I thought.
But if you went just to see Kobe, then it loses a lot of value. Really quickly, my point on Denver, I know that they rested him last night for this one, especially. I mean, this isn't reporting, but I feel like I know that a big part of him playing tonight was that they didn't want someone writing some awful hacky column about how he was trying to avoid, the worse, like kind of that people like to ignore parts of his legacy in Denver, that he was trying to avoid having to revisit that amidst this whole farewell tour. I think that I just get the sense that that would be a priority to make sure that he played there and showed that he wasn't afraid of that city for any reason.
Right. And to that point, it's no coincidence that you saw the guy signing shoes and really yucking it up with the fans there at the end. So yeah, I mean, it's a PR stunt, and on the definition of a PR stunt, and for the effectiveness of this PR stunt, he's going to want to play on road games because his reach becomes wider that way, right? Whereas if you play in all the home games and if you prioritize the home games, your reach is only limited to those home games. So I guess I understand it from a PR and a business standpoint, but I don't understand it from somebody who has so many loyal fans here in Los Angeles compared to anywhere else in the country.
I agree with you. It kind of sucks. I mean, he has to make a choice about where he's going to play, and he's prioritized these road games, and it does because I guess, I mean, he knows LA is going to love him anyway, no matter what. But I don't know. You're right, though. It is a bummer for the fans that are paying these, because the tickets are not cheap. The team is very, very bad, but the tickets are not cheap. They have not lowered their ticket prices, as far as I know. They're
secondhand market now, so it's not really up to anybody lowering the ticket price.
Yeah. And so but the secondhand market is marking them up because there's high value. The Lakers most of these games, they aren't announcing he's going to sit it out until the day of.
Yeah, the only game I'd feel confident buying a ticket for is that last one,
April 13th.
And even then, I don't know if I'd be all that confident because I'm not positive he's going to make it to April 13th.
I don't think that we can be at this point. We're after what we saw tonight, where he could barely play. What was it? 11 minutes.
11.
Yeah.
So
and he was working his shoulder on the bench every single time out when they cut over there.
Yeah, it's tough to see. I mean, when we were looking at it with
he's saying he won't shut it down though. He just told reporters, "I can't do that. There's 3 weeks left in the season."
Yeah.
So
it's his shoulder. It's not like it's a knee that's stopping him from walking.
Yeah.
Right. He can go onto the court, waddle around for 10, 11 minutes, and then call it a night. All he needs from his shoulder is his ability to clap and wave and all that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, he only took 2 shots tonight. He really he did really. It seemed like he was attempting to defer in that starting lineup.
Mm-hmm. I was listening on the radio. I was stuck in the longest
highest plus minus of any starter too. +1.
I was listening on the radio, while they were saying, and John Island pointed out for the first 5 or 6 possessions, Kobe didn't even touch the ball. So that was interesting to see. My dog is dreaming next to me. So if you guys hear a bark, that's what's going on. We'll move on. The top story over the last week since we've been out has been D'Angelo Russell becoming, I mean, he becomes easily the second best rookie in the league, right?
Over the past week, he has been. Yeah.
Right. Well, had he played like this or even somewhere near this all season, he would have been. He's still not Cat. He's still not Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
But he's better than all the other rookies.
Yeah, I think that other guys, they got the narrative train rolling with their stronger starts. And so now every announcer feels obligated to reference his early season struggles. And he wasn't great, but he wasn't as bad as a lot of people made him out to be, I think. And especially when you're considering that he was a 19-year-old playing with pros for the first time. But yeah, he's really come around, and he seems to be ready for it. So
and he was also doing that playing. I think point guard's the toughest position to play in the NBA, right? It's power forward. It's pretty straightforward.
Well, I think you can argue that defensively it's probably tougher to play center. But yeah, but I think point guard, as far as learning an offense and having to conduct it as a 19-year-old, that's tough. He's talked about that.
Right. So when you add all those variables up and you see a kid go out there and he's as impressive as we saw him last night. Look, Twitter hasn't buzzed like that in a couple of years. Like
He's the number one trending topic.
Twitter hasn't done that in a couple of years. And if I'm and here's the thing, if I'm Kevin Durant, or if I'm free agent X, right? You can't help but notice that the number one topic becomes D'Angelo Russell on some random, Tuesday night in the NBA.
Lakers have a graph for that to add to their presentation, I'm sure.
Right, while they're playing the Brooklyn Nets, like there's no reason Russell should have been trending the way he was, but he was, and Twitter was buzzing. Lakers Twitter especially. I haven't seen us that excited over somebody.
Lakers Twitter hasn't been that amped in a while, yeah. And he's given people reason to. Over the past 5 games, he's averaging 21.4 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4.8 assists, and he's making 62.1% of his threes and shooting 55.2% from the field overall.
That's sustainable. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be a better shooter than from 3-point range than Steph Curry and anyone else in NBA history for the rest of his career. But it's not impossible. He's doing it right now.
One thing I did find interesting, and this is the huge point of contention after the game and in the day following, was the tendency nationally and with others in the community to kind of credit Byron and say, hey, it looks like it worked out anyway. Look at this.
That's the thing. It looks like it worked out anyway. It's not. It looks like it worked out because of. Yeah. I think that's the phrasing that is the issue. He's some point guard whisperer that built Jason Kidd and Chris Paul and Kyrie Irving into what they are. Like they wouldn't be that with literally me coaching them. And that's not to discredit Byron Scott. I know that I would probably be a worse NBA coach than him, but because
it says something that you have to add that caveat.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Hey, I just want to make it clear that people, I'm not out here claiming I should be I know everything and I'm a better coach, because that's the common criticism that you get. Oh, well, you do a better job. No, I don't think I do a better job. I just know that there are certain things that he does that I don't think are great.
Right. And that's it. Look,
it seemed pretty easy to fix, but
coaching on this team can't be easy because you have so many storylines. You have coaching the Lakers, which the microscope is always going to be on you, right? As evidenced by last night. It was a Tuesday night, and you had the number one trending
against the fourth worst team in the second worst team in the league was playing the fourth worst team in the league.
Yeah, I saw tweets like, who knew Lakers Nets would be this much fun, right?
Game of the year.
It really wasn't that fun.
Thunder. Who cares?
Yeah. It really wasn't that fun. It was just that a Lakers rookie was living up to the potential that he has, right? And then you have trying to coach Kobe, which has never been easy at any point in Kobe's career. And Phil Jackson famously said that no player is tougher to coach than a superstar who is no longer a superstar. And then on top of that, you're trying to juggle, let's develop these kids for a future that I'm probably not going to be a part of. And Byron Scott's job is really hard to do when you add all that stuff together. Now, that said, that doesn't let him off the hook for some of the stupid things he said and some of his ridiculous tendencies with these kids throughout the year. And it's fair to question whether or not somebody who handled that situation a little bit better would put D'Angelo Russell where he was last night sooner in the season, earlier in the season. And I think that question wasn't asked by the national media nearly enough.
Yeah, and I think some of that is because most of those guys, they have their pregame prep sessions where they get to talk to the coaches, and I think a lot of the times that's where they get a lot of their info from the team, right? About the team. It's like those discussions with the coach, and so they kind of take it at face value that the coach knows what he's doing and all of that.
Something caught your eye, it looks like.
No, I was just going through the usage rate on the team, and I was kind of surprised that over the past 5 games, Russell's not even the highest. He is sixth actually, behind Kobe, Rob Sacre, Lou Williams, Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, and D'Angelo Russell. Now Sacre, obviously, you have to throw out. He played in one game. He played 5.9 minutes, but during that playing time, he used 25.5% of the Lakers' possessions. So. He ranked up, but it's good because it means that Russell isn't having to completely dominate the ball. Although I know that he used up, I think, around 35% last night against the Nets.
And I'm going through my timeline. Usually this is your gig, but you found the usage rate stuff, which is really interesting. It's crazy that he did that while not being used. Like, imagine.
Yeah, and then he was 31.6% tonight. Jordan Clarkson was 30.1%. And then we have a drop off to Nick Young at 25.8. Roy Hibbert is fourth. Roy Hibbert should never be fourth in usage rate on this team.
Byron quote on D'Angelo tonight. I thought it was okay. He's referring to it. Does Byron think D'Angelo Russell is a person?
I think he meant his defensive effort, not calling him an it.
I know.
I hope.
We think. You never know.
Yeah.
Kobe talked about his body. He is achy and all that good stuff. We should have seen a couple DNP olds this year from Kobe, but the Lakers don't have a sense of humor the way the Spurs do.
Well, yeah, can you ever see Byron Scott writing that?
No. And
I could see like a DNP soft for one of the rookies or something, but
let's not piss off Kobe.
Yeah.
All right, so that does it for tonight's show. We're kind of teetering off here at the very end. The Lakers wind up losing again, 117-107. Julius Randle, 17-7 tonight. D'Angelo Russell's 24-6. Jordan Clarkson leaves early after 23 minutes, tallied 13 points.
I thought that's the sucky thing. I thought Clarkson was really good tonight.
Well, that was the thing that was lost last night.
Him and Russell were playing off of each other great.
Last night,
yeah, last night too.
Double watch for and
I thought it was hilarious after the game. He called out Lakers PR guy Calder Hines for mentioning that he was on triple double watch to a reporter, and then I guess he didn't get another assist or rebound the rest of the way.
I like this. I like this team. I like that they have personality. I'm hoping that the Lakers don't scrub it out of them. There was some reports, or I don't know if it was really a report or more musing from John Allen today saying that Kobe and Byron did not like the celebration last night. I can't wait till both Byron and Kobe are gone.
I don't know that that's necessarily true. Like that was like people were. I heard people saying, Kobe doesn't like that type of celebrating, but Kobe was smiling every single time they cut to him on the bench last. I don't think that after the game, he all of a sudden just like went like stone faced and started yelling at Russell about this 12th win of the year. Da 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 da. Like, no, I mean, he seems happy when the kids play well. It's not like last year where it was a bunch of random dudes jumping all over each other because they beat the Celtics when they had played terribly all year. Right. It's like that's the future of the team playing well and growing. It wasn't just like, some like a motley group of veterans acting like they had accomplished something huge. And at the same time, they should be allowed to celebrate. That team was awful. They should be allowed to enjoy a win. I'm just saying that it's different situation. I'm always pro. I'm team celebration because
I'm pro fun. Like, why not have fun? You're playing a damn game. Let's have
because
some fun.
If you ever saw me play pickup back in my prime, you would know I was Rob Sacre on the court. Like I was doing dances on the way back on defense. Like I was I was quite the celebrator back in my day.
Is that how you hurt your back? You were celebrating too much, or
it was that third backflip.
All right, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks. The Lakers' next game is sometime in the near future. I would imagine Friday. That's my guess. I'm looking. Here we go. Fun radio here. The Lakers' next game is on...
It's on Friday.
Friday
Against the
versus
Hawks.
Atlanta.
Yeah,
It's
7:30.
it's an ESPN game. So we will talk to everybody after that game. Again, I can't stress this enough. I really appreciate people reaching out to us and saying that they, asking if we were going to have a show that night. It made me even the more frustrated with Time Warner that it took that long to get cable in a damn house in 2016.
And yeah, I co-sign everything Anthony just said. We really appreciate the engagement, guys. It's the fact that anyone wants to see us talk about basketball is pretty cool.
Exactly. So thank you guys for that. We will talk to you again on tomorrow. No, today's Wednesday, right? So
today is Wednesday. We'll talk to them in 2 days on Friday.
We'll talk to everybody. I'm just gonna leave. Bye, guys. Get out of here.